Sonja Brown, mayor of Glen Heights, is with us, mayor of Sullivan's Island, South Carolina. Patrick O'Neill with us. We appreciate both of you being here. Thank you. I'm just wondering, Sonja, when you heard that small towns being good are a political trope, did you understand what he was saying?
I understood what he was saying, but only after reading the complete article. I think some people are intimidated by small towns, and they will consider us a political trope. But I think that is because being the mayor of a small town, we often have our finger on the pulse. We know what our residents like. We know what our residents dislike, and we are able to engage with our residents. That engagement allows us to make policies for the city that are actually for the people and by the people. So I think that is what drives the intimidation of small cities, and it's why a lot of people feel threatened by small cities.
Yeah, it's kind of wild, Patrick. When you read this, I'm wondering if he's not so much criticizing small towns as much as he's criticizing the people who live in small towns, right? You're backward, you're hillbilly, you don't know how to get things done, you don't understand how great what we're doing in the big city is.
I didn't quite take it that way. I did think that he was really confusing the idea of values with the idea of skills and experiences that you need in order to be a capable president or a capable leader of any governmental body of any size. I think different towns and cities may have different community-wide values in terms of what the community thinks is important. But I also think that individuals can have very positive values regardless of the population of their zip code.
Yeah, I'm wondering, Sonja, how fair this is, right? Because I think about sort of the elite of America, right? In New York, they go to Nantucket, Martha's Vineyard, and the Hamptons, all small towns. In Washington, they go out to the Maryland shore, they go to Nantucket, and they come down actually to a lot of places in South Carolina, Kiowa, and the like. So I can't figure out what exactly it is that they're threatened by, except maybe it's small towns that aren't fancy.
You know, I don't know what they're really threatened by either, because as my co-mayor said, my fellow mayor said, values are values, right? And it shouldn't depend on the population of a city. If you're in a city populated of 500 or a city populated of 500,000, values are values, morals are morals. So it's not a political trope to us. You know, we're just right at about 20,000 as far as our population is concerned, according to the last census, but we are a small city. We're technically considered a small city. And we believe in fairness. We believe in, equality. We believe in quality of life, economic development, infrastructure. All of those things are the same things and the same ideas that big cities believe in. And those are the things that big cities shoot for. So again, it doesn't matter what the population size is. I think the author of that article is using it as a political trope when it really isn't. That is him. That is his. Those are his thoughts, and he's using that as a political trope, but we don't.
I almost think he should come down, right, and visit you guys and see sort of what things are done. Hey, Patrick, I want to give you the last word here. I only got a few seconds. It's weird, right? Because you'd think that if big city values are better than small city values, it would be the big cities that everybody's moving to. But during the pandemic, we learned it was the opposite. What is it about small towns, specifically yours, you think that it makes it so attractive for folks?
I think people like to feel that they live in a manageable and navigable community. When they come to Sullivan's Island, they see that we're a very historical barrier island blessed with great natural resources. And I think people appreciate our shared community values of preservation and conservation. And they come down in droves.
Yeah. And also, and good people as well. Tends to be in small towns. Patrick, Sonja, we appreciate it. Thank you very much. It was good seeing you both.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Thanks for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to subscribe. Click the red button to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.